Tonight on News Prime, Presidency says Tinubu to swear in 7 new ministers on Monday. Federal government charges petroleum engineers on sustainable solutions to critical challenges facing the oil sector. At the first scene, lightning kills 14 at Uganda refugee camp. And in sports, tonight, Insurance Battle Sunshine Warriors target the headland scalp in the Nigerian Premier Football League, RAB. Hello and welcome to all of viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime, your global television coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Edikan Michael. We are on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. We'll begin tonight by informing you that President Bola Tinubu is set to swear in 7 new ministers on Monday, marking a significant development in his administration's restructuring effort. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ananoga, disclosed this on his verified X handle. The new ministers who were cleared by the Senate last week will assume critical roles in various critical sectors under the President Tinubu-led administration after their inauguration. The newly appointed ministers include Dr. Iyawata as the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Muhammadu Magari as the Minister of Labour and Employment, Bianca Odogu Uchukwu as the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. Other appointees are Dr. Jumoke as the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Idi Mokhtar as the Minister of Livestock Development, Yusuf Abdullahi as the Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development, and Dr. Suwaiba Sadi Ahmad as the Minister of State for Education. President Tinubu has urged Nigerian universities to live up to expectations as vanguard of research, teaching, and community service to make human life better and fast-track national development. Tinubu made the call at the 9th convocation ceremony of the Federal University of Dosinima, Katsina State, where he was represented by the Vice Chancellor of Federal University, Dutse, Jigawa State, Professor Abdul Karim Sabu Mohammed. The President said education is a cornerstone of national development and must be responsive and transformative. The President also urged students to take advantage of the student loan scheme initiated to support their education pursuits. The House of Representatives Committee on Renewable Energy has invited stakeholders to an investigative hearing on the $2 billion renewable energy grant and investment in Nigeria. The committee stated that the investment has not had a proportional impact on the nation's energy security challenges. A statement issued by the committee chairman, Victor Ogena, says the probe will cover the period from 2015 to 2024. In July 2024, President Tinubu disclosed at the African Natural Resource and Energy Investment Summit in Nigeria that the nation had attracted over $2 billion of investment in the sector in the past decade. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, has commenced moves to drop the charges brought against the 32 minors arraigned before Justice Obiora Egwuatu of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Hours after the arraignment, the nation's chief law officer disclosed in a statement his interest in taking over the matter from the Inspector General of Police, noting that there are issues his office would like to review. It is believed that the Inspector General of Police had already submitted the case file to the Minister of Justice as requested, and actions are ongoing to swiftly drop the charges against the defendants. As the November 16 gubernatorial election in Ondo State draws closer, members of the Ibira community in the state have endorsed Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa as their preferred candidate. Governor Osman Ododo of Kogi State, who led the gathering of Ibira indigents in Owo, spoke passionately on behalf of the community, drumming support for Governor Ayedatiwa. Kikele Mokere complete the report.
It is a carnival-like atmosphere at our community as the campaign tour of Governor Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa, candidate of All Progressive Congress, touched the campaign ground. Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo says the entire Ibira community across Ondo State have resolved to support and vote for All Progressive Congress in the coming election in the state.
We all know him. He has been tested and can be trusted. We want continuity. We want consolidation. And he has started very, very well. My brother, I want to tell you that the Ebira community, the Igala community, and the Oku community in Ondo State, they are 100% behind you.
In his response, Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed gratitude for the community's support and praised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to Ondo State economic development. He also commended Governor Ododo for his exemplary leadership. Reflecting on the APC primary election in Ondo State, which Governor Ododo chaired, Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed confidence in a fair and transparent electoral process in November 16th.
Let me also tell you, Alhaji Usman, that even before Mr. President became the president of this country about 2 years ago, he has always shown interest in the political and economic development of Ondo State. At every governorship election since I met him in 2012, he has always been interested in who becomes the governor of Ondo State, so that he can contribute and give his support to the economic development of the state.
The Deputy Governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olaide Adelami, whose local government hosted the rally, thanked Governor Ododo for his love for Aiyedatiwa and the APC. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Meanwhile, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has assured residents of Akoko Northeast that if elected, his administration will redouble efforts to prioritize the welfare of every citizen in Ondo State. The governor, alongside his deputy and running mate, Dr. Olaide Adelami, made this known when they visited Akoko Northeast local government area of the state. Kikele Makere completes the story.
It is a moment of jubilation and excitement in Iborokpa, Akonu, and Ikare Akoko Northeast as the campaign tour of Governor Lucky Orimisan Aiyedatiwa, candidate of All Progressive Congress in November 16 governorship election in Ondo State, touched Akoko Northeast local government. At Ikare Akoko, headquarters of the local government, Governor Aiyedatiwa received royal blessings from Olukare of Ikare, Oba Kadri Momo, and the Owa Ale of Ikare, Oba Adeleke Adedoyin. His Royal Highness Olukare of Ikare, Oba Kadri Momo, appeals to the governor to help in curbing the menace of kidnapping and insecurity in the region.
In this terrain, I want to crave your indulgence to chronicle few of our challenges. We have said them before and we will not be tired of repeating them. Mr. Governor, this is not the first time you are coming to us. In the extreme buffer point there, making Kogi, we have the greatest challenge there is kidnapping. Insecurity, and mostly there are people coming from Abuja or from other axes from the east through Kogi. Usually they are kidnapped. The people look around, they are just by the military and police checking points. Kidnappers look around there to cause mayhem, and we'll be happy if you can look into that aspect.
Governor Aiyedatiwa highlighted the overwhelming support from the communities as a testament to the positive impact his administration has made in Ondo State. Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed gratitude for the warm reception and royal blessings. The governor assures that the request made by the royal fathers will be granted and incorporated into the 2025 budget, stressing the government's responsibility to ensure equitable development across the states.
Same language. It is a case of all of them, as if they have discussed, they have agreed with one mind. that the governorship election for November 16, 2024, the votes will be given to my party, APC. That is the voice of the traditional rulers, the voice of the chiefs, the voice of the women and all the youth.
During the tour, Honorable Stephen Olamija, a former House of Representative member for Akoko North-East, North-West Federal Constituency, Lekan Bada, former chairman Akoko North-East and candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the last House of Reps by election in the constituency, and another notable PDP leader, Momo Mufu, also known as Akmongon, defected to APC and were received into the party by the governor. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The federal government has released funds to settle outstanding salaries owed to members of the non-academic staff union of federal universities and pay benefit to retirees under the Nigerian Union of Pensioners Contributory Pension Scheme. All this was contained in a statement by the Director of Press and Public Relations, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Bawa Mokwa. He confirmed the payment to national members have commenced, with many already confirming receipts. Now, the Nigerian Correctional Service has denied reports that the Henbai Governor's protesters defendants were detained in adult custodial facilities at the Kuje Custodial Center in Abuja. Following the arrangement of 76 individuals in the connection with the protest, Justice Obiora Agwatu ordered that underage defendants be placed in a Bristol facility, while adults will be remanded in the standard cells until their bail conditions were met. Spokesman of the Correctional Service, Umar Abubakar, in a statement clarified that reports of the service detaining the minors in adult facilities were misleading and assured that the service adheres to the strict standards when maintaining and managing offenders. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, said that the first phase of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway would be ready for commissioning by May 29, 2025. The Minister of Works stated this when he led the Federal Ministry of Works and the members of the House of Representatives and the Senate's House Committee on Works to inspect some sections of the ongoing Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road project stretching along the 8th state. Umahi, who noted that the President had paid full compensation to affected property owners along the federal right-way before the demolition of property took place, reiterated the commitment of the administration of President Tinubu to ensuring the massive rehabilitations and completion of abandoned road projects across 36 states of the Federation. Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa has called on the military high command to work as a team to secure the country peacefully. The Defense Chief made the call during the formal taking over ceremony of the newly appointed Acting Chief of Army Staff Major General Olufemi Oloyede in Abuja. Samuel Odi has a report.
General Musa noted it is unprecedented to have an acting chief of army staff when there is a substantive chief of army staff, who unfortunately is indisposed, noting that Major General Oluyede will be acting until the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, decides otherwise.
In the interim, based on the powers conferred on the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, he has decided and directed and appointed an acting Chief of Army Staff with the full powers and responsibilities of the Chief of Army Staff until the President decides otherwise.
He congratulated the acting Chief of Army Staff on his appointment and implored him not to rest on his laurel in ensuring that he justifies the confidence reposed in him by the President.
You are to note that your selection was based on your vast knowledge of military leadership at all levels, character and competence. You are a member of a larger team of professional soldiers who are saddled with the responsibility of defending the territorial integrity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by land, sea, and air as captured in our Constitution.
In his remark after completion of the signing in of the taking over notes, General Olukayode promised to hold forth as acting Army Chief until the return of Lieutenant General Abiodun Lagbaja, who is the substantive Chief of Army Staff. The acting Chief of Army Staff solicited prayers for Lieutenant General Lagbaja's speedy recovery and safe return to complete the excellent job he started.
Appointment as acting Chief of Army Staff is simply to hold sway while Lieutenant General T. Lagbaja, Chief of Army Staff, is a way to enable him to take sufficient time to get necessary medical attention and recuperate. And that I intend to do with the whole of my heart and loyalty to the Constitution.
Until his appointment, Acting Chief of Army Staff Olufemi Oluyede served as the 56th Commander of the Elite Infantry Corps of the Nigerian Army based in Jaji, Kaduna State. The 56-year-old Oluyede and Lagbaja were classmates and members of the 39th Regular Corps. He was commissioned a second lieutenant in 1992. Effective from 1987, he rose to Major General in September 2020. Samuel Lodi reporting for Global Television News.
Now to other news, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelebu, has advised state governments to find an alternative to power generation in the country. The minister gave the advice during a one-day walking visit to Kano State against the background of the recent blackout in some northern states. Our correspondent Idris Jibril has a report.
Arriving the VIP wing of the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport is the Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu, alongside other top government delegation from the Federal Capital Territory. The visit is to inform the people of Kano State and northern Nigerians in general the cause of the blackout in the region.
The issue of electricity supply is not one that one entity can handle alone. It must be a collaborative effort.
The minister reiterated the determination of the federal government to restore power to the affected states, adding that it has no intention of marginalizing any section of the country over electricity distribution.
Alternative power source, which I also mentioned when I was delivering my speech, that is the way to go. Sincerely, that is the permanent solution to having negative impact of grid disturbances. Just like we had the vandalization of transmission lines, it affected the entire northern states.
Especially the one that we are here, 1 megawatt Bagaja, is just to provide energy security, for the citizen in the state. And the Honorable Minister is also talking about bringing investors that will construct a plant that will give around 100 megawatt.
Receiving the minister at the Kano State Government House, Governor Abba Kabir, represented by his Chief of Staff, Shehu Wadasa Gagi, told the minister that the state government is working very hard to establish independent power project which has already reached 70% completion stage.
The blackout causes significant loss in billions of naira to the industries in the state, also affected the areas of revenue generation, health sector, healthcare sector, and day-to-day activities of the populace.
Kano State and several other northern states have been without electricity for almost 10 days, though only yesterday light was restored to some states in the north, a situation attributed to the activities of bandits around the 300 kV line along Kaduna-Shiroro power distribution axis. From Kano, Idris Jibrin reporting for Global Television News.
Now to other political matters, Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has said that the Commission will undertake a final readiness assessment of its preparations for the November 16 Ondo State governorship election next week. Yakubu disclosed this at the fourth quarterly consultative meeting with media organizations at the headquarters of the Commission in Abuja, noting that as part of the assessment, the Commission will meet with its officials, engage with stakeholders, and interact with the security agencies and transport providers. He also said there will be further improvement, especially in the area of logistics for the movement of personnel and materials for both land and riverine locations for prompt commencement of polls, as well as management of the processes on election day. You're watching News Prime here on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, where News Prime returns lightning kills 14 at the Uganda refugee camp. We'll bring you details of these as well as the foreign and sports stories after this break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. And now let's get to business. The federal government has charged petroleum engineers to devise sustainable solutions to critical challenges facing the oil sector, which includes the low productivity, oil theft, and the pipeline vandalism. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Enneken Lepori, speaking at the annual conference of the Nigerian Institute of Petroleum Engineers in Abuja, emphasized the need for innovative, homegrown strategies to enhance the industry's performance, urging collaboration among industry players to ensure a sustainable future for Nigeria's oil and gas sector. And now to foreign scene, police says the lightning strike at a refugee camp in Uganda had killed 14 people. They say the victims were attending a church service when the lightning struck, injuring another 34 people. An official told local media that all those who died were children. The incident occurred at the Palabek refugee settlement in the northwest of the country, an area that has recently seen heavy rains with thunder and lightning. According to the United Nations Refugee Agency, Palabek refugee settlement is home to more than 80,000 refugees and asylum seekers, many of whom are from neighboring South Sudan. Barely a few days to the United States presidential election, Americans living in settlement in the Israeli-occupied West Bank seek Donald Trump's second term, as recent polls shows that a majority of Israelis dream of the days when the former president inhabited the White House. Trump prioritized Israel during his previous term, moving the American embassy to Jerusalem, recognizing Israeli sovereignty over the occupied Golan Heights, and helping to normalize ties between Israel and several Arab states under the so-called Abraham Accords. Now, many Israelis believe Trump will offer yet more support as the country battles Iran-backed militant groups in Gaza and Lebanon, as well as Iran itself. And in a different development, the United States has announced the deployment of additional military assets to the military haste. The deployment includes the ballistic missile defense destroyers and the long-range B-52 bomber aircraft, serving as a warning to Iran as Israel trade the feed for third strikes. Pentagon spokesman Major General Pat Ryder said in a statement that should Iran, its partners or proxies use the moment to target American personnel or interests in the region, the United States will take every measure necessary to defend its people. Ukraine says Kiev has come under heavy drone attack overnight as French explosions were heard in the capital and other regions were struck. President Zelensky said, unfortunately, the attack by Russian drones caused damage and casualties in various districts of Kiev. He said that the constant terrorist attacks on the Ukrainian cities prove that the pressure on Russia and its accomplices is not enough. Former British Business Secretary Kemi Bading has emerged as a new leader of the Conservative Party, defeating Robert Jenrick in the final round of voting. Raised in Nigeria, is the first black woman to lead a major political party in the United Kingdom and takes over a Conservative Party reeling from its worst ever election defeat. She takes over from Rishi as the leader of the position after winning 53,806 votes against the 41,388 for Jenrick in the result announced by the party on Saturday morning. And I'll get into sports. Smarting from a 1-0 defeat out to Abia Warriors at match day night, Bendo Insurance has secured redemption during the match day today with Sunshine Stars at the Otumba Vipadina Stadium in Ojobo, Ogun State. To end their Benue had several care of the patients, loyalty and support of the fans of them back at the Doubting Talks. And on the Abia Warriors causing Insurance their fourth defeat in 9 matches, which saw them slump to 15th in the standings. Chelsea are reportedly plotting a move for Real Madrid's Brazilian winger Vinicius Jr. with the focal point of their attack. According to the features, the 24-year-old forward has caught the attention of Chelsea, though the Blues will likely face stiff competition for both PSG and Manchester United for his signature. Vinicius had an outstanding season with the Real Madrid last year, tallying 24 goals and providing 11 assists, crucially contributing to the La Liga and European Champions League charms. To wrap up the news prime, here's a look at some of the top stories. Presidency has announced that President Tinubu will swear in 7 new ministers on Monday. The federal government has charged petroleum engineers on sustainable solutions to critical challenges facing the oil sector. And the first in lightning has killed 14 at the Uganda refugee camp. Bendo Insurance Football Club battles sunshine as Warriors targets the Atlas Cup in Nigerian Premier Football League RAB. That was a package of News Prime. A reminder that we are on DSTV, channel 365 and Star Times, channel 276, and free to air on Nicomsat. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and all the handles now shown on the screen. Many thanks for watching. See you again.